Hello, lovelies. Welcome to Lanmou Tarot. This is a general reading for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the first 2 weeks of May 2019. Thank you for your continued support, Leo. Ooh, that's my water. It startled me for a second. Ooh. Leo. Spirit, what message do you have for our Leo friends? What message do you have? Ooh, the sage is really praying for you, Leos. What message do you have for our Leo friends, Spirit? What message do you have? Guidance. This is the Akashic Tarot, and we use the After Tarot for any clarifications. And as usual, pre-shuffle of camera and meditate on your energy, Leo. Just doing a bit more shuffling on camera for those who like to see it. Alright, here we go. One more. The Oracle of Delphi. The King of Keys. There you go, Leo. The center of this reading. And we have the Two of Swords, Two Worlds. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Swords. So for you, Leos, that are dealing with, especially in air sign, the swords are like the air in here. It seems as if there's a decision that needs to be made, okay? It's like, it's almost like in the outside. I don't know if you can see through that window here. It looks like there's like a temple, like one of those Buddhist temple with all the flags. And I don't know how they call those, I guess minarets that do the clink, 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 like the clock. It seems like that's the kind of life that's out there. And inside, this is a maid or a maiden or a young lady looking at the fire, right? And there's she's living like a very tame life here, almost like as a housewife perhaps. So it's as if there's a decision to be made whether to join the order. That's the word that came for some of you. It may be of significance. Whether to choose that spiritual path, that spiritual world, or whether to be that housewife. Do you go into the world? Do you make your mark? Do you stay home and you take care of your house, of your household? You live the quiet life. There's two different ways to live that quiet life, right? You can be a quiet as in the household, or you could be in the life of in a monastery, in a convent. It's as if someone he is pondering those two options. But at the bottom of the deck, we have here the King of Swords. This is the intellectual, the doctor, the lawyer, right? And by the way, I pulled this card to show you. Let me push it so you can see for yourself. It's a birth, number 4, or major arcana. It says birth. That's what's at the bottom here. So there's something new that you really want to bring into the world, like perhaps a new beginning. You're trying to choose a path here for yourself, Leo, during this time, and you're putting a lot of thought into it. You're thinking very hard about it, okay? You're thinking very hard, and look here, there's a little wood here, there's a little path here as well. And here we have 2 worlds to choose from. And the Oracle of Delphi, number 1, it's the first card here. And on this deck, you want to be the oracle, the high priest or high priestess of your life, to be a member of this. Like the oracle is, it's almost like she is the mystery herself here, isn't she? She's guided. She's divinely guided. She knows stuff just by knowing stuff through her own intuition, right? So we have here, she can tell, she can help other people because she can see with her mind's eyes. So we have two kings here. We also have the king of keys. The king of keys is like the king of fire, but this is a man this is a career man. This is a passionate man. Yes, adventurous. As you can see that red here, that adorns the horse, but it's also a man of business, the entrepreneur, right? The CEO. That's the king of that's the king of keys, a leader of industry. Which world do you follow? Do you become the oracle? You follow the mysteries? You use your gift to help other people? Or do you go in the world as you're expected to do? To just, I guess, what you would call a normal life, right? Just get a job, you know, like everybody else. When you're talking about being an oracle, doing a card reader, king of swords, same thing as the king of swords. There's a decision here that needs to be made, because the king of swords is a very decisive man. There's a decision about career you're trying to make here. Do you stay at home, especially if you're a woman? Here, actually, it really doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man, because all we have here are kings. One king, two kings, three kings, and we have the Oracle of Delphi and the lady here in that two of Skulls card. There's a sense here, like, the King of Swords is very decisive. The King of Swords is not afraid to use that sword, okay? He's an intellectual, just like the King of Skulls, but he's also used his swords of clarity or truth. And the King of Keys here, you can see the swords here. So it's as if you're going to use your mind, your intellect, in making that decision about the world. Do you turn your back on that life of the housewife you've been living, the quiet love housewife, or do you follow the life of the spiritual life, the spiritual path, if you will? Because out of that window, what she's turning her back to right now is the monastery, right? Yeah. So I want to call it the monastery, but it's like really like a temple. Let me pull it again. I hope you guys can see it, because that really came through for me. It's like a big part here of the story. Okay, so it's like, I don't know. You have psychic power that perhaps you feel you won't be accepted, that you're trying to suppress. Wow, the Empress. I'm talking about your abundance here. Use your mind, be the intellectual, or be the mother. The intellectual or the housewife. The king of industry or the psychic, the oracle, the card reader, the light worker. It's like that's the choice here that needs to be made. Some clarification on the Two of Skulls, Spirit. Which path? Two worlds. Which path? Some clarification on the Two of Skulls for Leo. Some clarification on the Two of Skulls for Leo. Some clarification on the Two of Skulls for Leo. Some clarification on the two, because it seems like almost you oh, the Knight of Wands. Well, there's a decision being made, and it's being made quite quickly. And look what's behind. And that Nine of Wands is the Sphinx, right? The pyramids. Legacy of your ancestors, legacy that run through your vein, the gifts that your psychic gift is something that's passed on from generation, perhaps past lives and past lives. That's what I'm getting here. And perhaps that's what you're wanting away from, because look, the Knight of Wands, that's you, Leo. They're facing the same way as that lady here, turning their back to that monastery, to that temple, if you will. It's like you're wanting away from that. From some of you, it's like you're afraid of your gifts. That's the message here. Spirit, what else can you tell us about the Two of Scrolls here? Clarification on the Two of Scrolls for Leos. Clarification on the Two of Scrolls. Two Worlds. Ooh, that was strong. Wow, that's the Six of Cups. And it flew out in reverse, by the way. I don't have my cards in reverse, but when they come out that way, I know they're supposed to be read that way. That's the only time that I will read my cards in reverse. So this is, and again, there is a sense here. By the way, when I pulled that King of Swords to show you the birth card, I don't think I showed it to you guys. I don't think I pulled it up. There are two kids here running away towards the mother, right? So there is a sense here of childhood innocence, and there's a sense here of like perhaps there are children involved in the situation, and that's why you feel like you cannot allow that connection to go on. That's why you are denying that that reconciliation to who you are, right? To your path. It's like, it's not like you don't understand your gifts. It's not like perhaps it's not because you're scared of it. It's that if you choose to go down that path of the oracle, it's as if you cannot do both. And perhaps that's why we have the two worlds here. It's like you have to choose your children, your home, being the housewife, or being the oracle. It's as if you don't have that option, and you're running away from that legacy. You're running away from those gifts because you can't do both. You can't do both. Oh, that one just came out. Oh my goodness. What do we have here? This is the way she come out. This is the Queen of Wands. Leo, do you see that? This is the way she come out. She came out like this. And we're still looking at this. You are really of two minds here. You are that this is what we're looking at here, okay? Can you guys see it? Because she came out like this, facing west. The Knight of Wands facing east, galloping fast facing east. The Six of Cups reversed. And here's the Queen of Wands, head facing west. But really she's looking towards the east as well. Because if I was to stand her up like this, she would be looking that way. Or should we interpret it that you're going back to your legacy? For some of you, you are facing the... No, I'm sorry, you're facing west. Yes, you are running away from the east. Leo, for some of you, you are running away from this. You're running away from the east. You are looking west. You are releasing that aspect of you. You do not want to honor it. The reconciliation to that part of you is denied. That's why you're turning your back here on that monastery. You're looking at the fire burning. Perhaps there's a part of you that has to die. You can only watch that fire burn to the flame here, to the fireplace. That's the only way you can enjoy it. You cannot allow that flame to take place inside of you. There's an X here as I'm looking at that cup underneath. This is like, no, reconciliation denied. I cannot go back to this, to that birthright, to that legacy I inherited. Because the Six of Cups is reconciliation, but it's also a sense of like thinking about your past, your childhood, and all of that. right? Perhaps someone in your family used to do to be the oracle, used to do that work, and they passed it on to you. You know you have the gifts, and you're like, no, I can't go there. X it out. That's interesting. Oh my goodness, look at here. We have the Wheel of Fortune. There's a sense of fated event here. There's a sense of timing here too. As if you don't do that, like there's a window of opportunity. Like if you don't make that decision now, like that's it. You can go now, or you feel like you will be stuck. You take on that new beginning, or you're gonna, or that's it. That window is gonna close out for you. There's a real sense of that here. But what's clear is that you understand you cannot do both. A choice has to be made. And there's a sense of fate here. And underneath this is the Hangman. Sacrifice. You will sacrifice yourself in order to stay where you are, I guess. Love endures. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstand every situation. Love does not give up or lose faith. Is it possible, Leo, that you're looking at this through the wrong perspective? Is it possible that you don't have to choose? Is it possible that those two worlds can coexist? Is it possible? Have you thought about that? Love does not give up or lose faith. It's possible for you to really fly in the cosmos, to believe in magic, to practice magic while holding on to your children, while holding on to staring at that fire, while being the mother. The card that actually comes out for you is number 50, 50. Consider your foundation. Look at how committed you are to love. Wow, we have the house here. Consider your foundation. How committed are you to love? Is it your foundation as your childhood? About your child, or your foundation as to where you are right now, your current situation? Look at how committed you are to love. Okay, for some of you, I've been reading this as a spiritual thing, right? Because that's a message that came through quite heavily. This is just a love situation, right? It's about you following your passion, right? Or choosing career over your lover. Perhaps your husband, boyfriend wants you to stay at home. They don't want you to be a career woman, because we have a lot here. The King of Keys is a career, is the career man, leader of industry, right? And we have the King of Schools, which is the intellect, the lawyer, the doctor, right? And if it's about like your husband doesn't want you to work away outside of the home, and you feel like you have to make a choice, right? Do I choose my career or do I choose my home? It seems as if like spirit is encouraging you to remain hopeful in this situation. And for me, it's the same message. To consider your foundation. How committed are you to love? You are committed to love. You can commit to your husband, and you can provide that love. Does that mean you have to deny a big aspect of your life? Because being the King of Keys, it's being literally the leader of industry. That means you have reached some kind of leadership position here. It's not just going out there to get a job. It's not, and then you're good at your job, you're just doing it. This is like you being the manager. This is like you really being like the CEO. You being like, the go-to man, go-to woman, okay? You have made a name for yourself. So is it possible that you still can do both? You can still rely on that foundation of love that you have, that you have a strong foundation with your husband, with your loved one, and that love, that foundation should be able to endure you pursuing your dream outside of the home, and still be able to provide love to your children, to your husband, to be there for them. Is it possible? Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. Is it possible that your love can withstand the situation as well? Whether it's you choosing to be that oracle, you choosing that spiritual path, or it's just a love situation, deciding, do I give up on my dream, or do I just stay home and be You know, the little lady. If it's a man, I guess same applies. But there is a sense of fate here. There is a sense of like timing here. The wheel is turning. And I felt that before I even saw that Wheel of Fortune. That there's a sense like you feel if you don't make a decision now, that's it. Like there's a sense of like you gotta give an answer. Perhaps some of you are even pregnant, having the Empress here, and you need to make a decision. Do I quit working altogether, expecting this child, right? It's like you need to make that decision now. You need to decide now. This is the Work Your Light Oracle cards. Spirit, what additional message, some guidance, what can you tell Leo or Leo friends that are resonating with this reading here? What additional message can you, and this deck is the best deck for this because they have the yes card in here, they have no card, that like it really give you some real answers. So Leo, ground yourself, ask the question, you know your own personal situation, and apply the message here as it fits. Spirit, what message, what guidance can you give Leo? What additional guidance can you give to Leo that are facing this situation right now? About choosing a path, choosing a world, or trying to merge both worlds, or what guidance? What guidance? Yeah, for Leo friends watching this reading. Ooh. At the bottom, we have Sisterhood of the Rose. I'll show you that before I show you the card that came out. Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic, Teacher. My goodness. That is you. You are the Oracle. You can't run away from that. I was trying very hard. As you can see, I talk about the King of Keys, the King of Scrolls. I talk about the Two of Scrolls at infinitum. I really have not touched much into that card. We know what this card is. Some of you, I really feel like you just cannot. This is such a big aspect of yourself. If you're trying to tame that side of yourself, to not look at it, turn your back to it, you cannot. You are the Oracle. Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, that's you, the Oracle of Delphi. You are the Psychic, you are the Priestess. Mystic, Teacher, you are being called. You are being called, Leo. You cannot. Divine timing, fate, that's your fate. The card that flew out for you here, Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundation, divine plan. My goodness, Leo. Let me show you Anna before I go on. This is Anna, grandmother of Jesus. She planted the seeds. Laying foundation, divine plan. Wheel of Fortune, divine plan. Consider your foundation, laying foundation. Do you understand? You are protected. You are being guided. You cannot run away from who you are. And wherever that you are in this partnership with, if it's a love situation, love should be able to endure this. This is the card that was at the bottom for you. Love endures. They should be able to understand. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. So if that person cannot accept you, all of you in your world, especially something so big, such a big aspect of yourself, an important aspect of yourself, an integral aspect of who you are, an aspect of you cannot change. That's just it. You were born like this. It is not Maybelline. Leo, if that person, if it's someone is putting pressure on you to make that decision, to cut the cord, to not follow your path here, your spiritual path especially, that person will be taken out of your life. We don't have the tower here, but I don't need to see no tower to know that, because this is divine. This is fated. Anna, not Jesus, not Jesus' mother, not Mary, the grandmother of Jesus, was seeding the light, was laying that foundation for you. Divine plan has been in the work for you. So I hope this reading resonates. And yes, I do know my reading tends to be more towards the spiritual path, and I concentrate on that because that's where they taking me to, okay? There are thousands of people on YouTube who talks about love. You can follow them for that. And yes, I do. If the love message come, I will touch on it, and I do try to find that aspect of it since it's a general reading. But always watch this reading with a grain of light, and know you already know your situation better than anyone else. And if you really listen, take the moment to meditate on whatever it is you're dealing with, you're seeking insights to, you would realize that you already know, right? Perhaps there's something in this reading you will hear that's like, uh-huh. It will be like bring it forth, right? Make you understand this is what that was. This is what I kept thinking about. This is what my mind kept going there. Now I get it. Now I understood what that dream meant. A lot of times that's what this is for, right? But we are all intuitive. You have it in you, and that's why I think from the very beginning that my readings tend to lean towards more the spiritual development path, because I really want you to understand that you are made of light. There's nothing more special about me than there is to you. I am just like you. You are as intuitive as the next person. Just I am as intuitive as the next person. It's working those muscles, practicing understanding and trusting your instinct and listening to your intuition, understanding when your guides talk to you, to learn to hear those little whispers, to learn to feel, to not just think with your mind, but to see with your mind's eye, to listen to your heart, to understand your gut, to stay balanced, all your chakra. Like I posted the 6 first readings since, well, last week, days and days ago. I think it's been at least 4 days, like Thursday or Wednesday. And I'm doing this now on, is it Tuesday, the 30th of April, because, and that's one of the reasons I stopped doing the dailies. If I feel like I'm not in a good space, and it's not because I was in a bad space, but there were so many things going on. I did not want to watch this. I really need to, because this is like a work. And yeah, no, it's not. I'm not doing this for money, but this is like it takes a lot, right? Energetically and actually time and also resources, and not just taping the reading, but just the whole posting them and like and I don't even try to edit. So, but I'm saying all this to you, Leo, and I'm not sure really how I get started into that little right here. Is to say that um I'm following my path. If you asked me 2 years ago, when would I be doing this, I would have been like, what? What? Seriously, like I've always been intuitive. I've always, just like I'm saying, just like everyone else, I've always have um a greater understanding and awareness of things. There's a lot of things I look back now, I understand better. Oh, this is how I felt that way. Like I understand now, I was more aware. I was already at a higher level of awareness than I understood it to be. There are things the way I understand certain things from my past decisions I made in the past. Now I can appreciate it more. I can categorize them better, knowing now what I know. Okay? So it was 2 years ago when I had this big moment, and like most people, when you come into that spiritual path, you really have something that happened to you that is so like strong. So some people, there's something tragic. For me, it was a very much emotional turmoil time I went through, and that's when I started walking on that path. It started end of May, literally end of May, almost 2 years ago of 2017, and my world is completely different. In a lot of ways it's the same, but at the same time my goals, my dreams, what I think about, like it's very different. Like 2 years ago I didn't even know what was Reiki. Now I'm a Reiki practitioner working towards becoming a Reiki master. I want to be of service. And I remember even when I was little, I used to pray and I'm like, God, if you do this, you know how we bargain with God, if you do this, I'll do that. My dad, I always promise, is to be of service. I used to always say, use me, make me one of your angels, use me to be of service of people, because I've always, I don't know why, but that's what I used to always ask. And here I am. Don't dim your light for nobody or no situation, Leo. This is your birthright. The divine has been guiding you along before you even get here. Jesus' grandmother has been seeding the light and laying down the foundation and putting that divine plan together for you. And that's why she's showing up here. I'm following my life. Not everyone in my life understand what I do, know what I do. I know I haven't turned this into like a full-on business, but I'm working toward that because I really would like to do this like completely full-time and not put my energy in things that are no longer in alignment with myself. So find find one thing that you can start with, okay, Leo, that works for you. Make a compromise with that loved one if you must. Try to get them to understand. Start slow, but don't give up on that foundation of love that's been being planned for you for centuries, millennia now. Okay? Thank you so much. I'm sending you so much love, Leo. Remember, love is the only answer. Thank you. Bye.